Hey gang, so I haven't made a video in a while. This is the latest big purchase of mine that's gonna go in the car. Reason for doing this is I had a mirror dash cam and that gave out. Don't buy any electronics from Amazon used or open box or any of that stuff, man. That is just bad news. What I ended up getting was a defective unit that only sometimes recorded, and it finally just gave out. The internal battery died, so I decided to get a dash cam just recently. Actually, I wanted one, I'll be honest with you, and my birthday just passed, and my wife got a recommendation on a dash cam. So the big part of this that I noticed that stood out from the others is that it's a three-way, lower profile, records in 4K, it's 30 frames per second that it records. I noticed that the third camera, because it's three cameras altogether, third camera from the back, you actually put it inside the car as opposed to outside where the license plate goes, and that's really more geared towards a backup camera. I don't want this as a backup camera. I want this just as a ongoing recording loop on a 3 or 5 minute intervals. And on the website, it suggests, part of the description on the item, to get their brand, but it's like 50 bucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. I found this on eBay for like $25. It's $32.99 I think on Amazon, and it's the A2. The A1 is the scale, the one below it, not advertised for 4K. This one is advertised for 4K, but the A1 and A2, which is, you know, from SanDisk, both are U3 classes. You have to make sure you get that it recommends on the website, but they really try to push their brand. Don't know why. All right, and this is what came in this first box. This is what was sitting on top, just like that. So on the right side, we have this unit. This is the two cameras, the one pointing on the outside, this one's the one pointing on the inside. This is the LEDs for night vision, from what I understand. This is your back camera. Here, I believe you can get this one also as a accessory. I did see that online. Point out that you can swivel that, and I believe you can swivel this too. So the inside camera, since it's facing this way, right, will only swivel 40 degrees, 40 degrees, maybe 45 degrees inside, up and down. So you can't have both cameras pointed down, or in the outside, or tilt down. I thought I was going to be able to tilt it all the way down, at least 90 degree, but that's not the case. This one does seem to be able to do it all the way around. And that would make more sense, because this part that holds it isn't technically holding any wires, or there's no wire that have to pass through it. It's just sitting on the outside. Makes sense. Here's a long cable, both USB. This is 90 degrees USB-Cs. This one goes on the side, and I'm sure goes HDMI out. Rear, it's got it right here. You can see that. Rear SD card, HDMI out, and your reset button. These buttons up here, I'm sure I'm gonna mess with it and find out what those do soon. This is for your plug. So this is pretty long, and this would be great if this is what I was gonna use, but I'm not gonna use this. This is I already have a charger in there, and I guess I could use this one and just piggyback and use this one. I might actually use this, but that would defeat the purpose of what I'm trying to accomplish here in the first go around with trying to put a a power brick, a power supply, so that it's constantly recording. It came with this one. This is 40 inches long, USB 2.0 USB to the USB-C, 40 inches long, a little over 3 feet. Came in this box, a suction cup, and this tilts to create the suction, and you can play with that. I believe this is to release, and this is to, excuse me, this is to make that suction. Comes with a complimentary pry bar, nylon pry. Very, very nice to tuck in your wires along the trim. So this is what you get. Something worth to point out that about the firmware. Here on the instructions, it says the system will automatically update if the micro SD card contains the firmware update files. The camera will restart once the upgrade has been completed. So I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure how long the unit's been just sitting there on the shelf. I'm sure there's it's firmware, man. It's like doing the system updates in your computer or BIOS updates from the manufacturer. You're gonna want to do that so that it's compatible to the latest, greatest. And sometimes it's just some bugs that they fix on the system that when they had initially rolled out the program, it just wasn't working as they hadn't expected it to. So let's see how to do that. All right, so here I'm on the Vantrue website. This is the home page. Top, you have about us, dash cams, partner, and support. This is where you want to go. Firmware update will send you to this page. You want to go to the N4 if that's the version, if that's the unit you have. I actually already downloaded the instructions to see what it was all about. Went and downloaded here, and then it explains here that you have to put the micro SD card in, then connect it with the USB to the computer, copy the firmware from your desktop or wherever you put it to the unit, to the camera, and then you want to disconnect it, blah blah blah. Don't try to open it with your computer, because it's not going to recognize it, because it's not a recognizable extension. And then you want to power it to apply it to power it, turn it on, and it's going to automatically start doing crap, right? Okay, so whatever. But from what I understand, this is it right here. You're going to go here and you're going to do download, and it's going to come down over here and start doing its thing. So let's wait. All right, so it's been almost an hour. Jeez Louise, to the format. Very slow. So despite it mentioning on the instructions to put it into the dash cam, I am not going to listen. I am actually going to go here and shoot. Let me see. Oh, something happened. Let me go to my downloads right here. Copy, D, and paste. And there it is. Vantrue N4 bin, file. And that one is to do a whole bunch of crap. It's the latest one, you'll notice here. This is the one I'm gonna put and see if that does what all this says. Fix bugs and icon, parking mode, all this beautiful stuff. So let's see how it works. Okay, I have the SD card here. We need to put it into here. So let's go ahead and push it in. I already have this connected to the power bank. This is an Anker power bank. It's supposed to be able to power or charge a laptop. So that's the reason I got it. Forget how the milliamps it has, or it's rated for watts. So let's go ahead and put this in. I'm gonna put this in first, and then I'm gonna try to hold this camera with my one hand and push the USB in and turn it around to see what it does, so you guys could see the same thing real time, just as if you were doing it the first time. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll troubleshoot and we'll walk through it together. Okay, so another key part, this suction cup is pretty key. I already bought the GPS version of it because it doesn't. Another thing here about this that's not inclusive. It's starting to remind me like of Alpine. You got to buy everything a la carte. Well, anyway, the GPS with that isn't a suction cup. It's going to actually be a sticker. It's like $21.99. It's inexpensive, and it also works the same. It has 4 prongs, just like it does here, and those 4 prongs are key because that's where you're going to power it, because you have to connect it there. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, with the USB-C connected there, I think it's just easier for me to push it in because it comes into this in this manner, and you kind of go over it a little. Let's see if you can take a look here. Awful lighting here. Like that, and push it in, and there it is. It goes up and down. And okay for English, and I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing. It was supposed to magically update the firmware, but apparently it didn't. So let me go through the settings. Well, that ain't good. SD card error, format SD card. So I'm gonna try to format it here. So I finally got it to on the settings. Choose a sprocket, and you go to format SD card. So I'm going to go ahead and format it from here. It's going to delete all the data. It's going to delete what I transferred over here. So let's do the formatting there, and apparently because of it, now the format it's in, I'm going to have to disconnect it from this power bank and then connect it to my computer, and then transfer the file that way, and then connect it back to the power bank. So let's see if that works. All right, so finally, I guess I'm gonna have to read this. Here's the key. All right, so I guess insert the SD card to the camera, then connect the camera to the computer USB, but select USB connection on dash cam. All right, after a moment of genius here, instead of connecting it from here, I connected it here where it says it's the camera to the rear. And now it says USB connection. That's what I have to select. So I'm gonna hit OK. USB connecting, right? Now it says D is not accessible, but it should be accessible now. There it is. There it is. Now I have to go to my downloads and drop it like it's hot. Snoop Dogg reference. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it there. So let's do that. Like that, like that. And it's powered off. All right. So disconnect that. Connect it to the top. No. Oh, it's not gonna like that. Oh, look at that. It's got some capacitance in there to keep the. Oh, look at that. Upgraded just like that. Looks like it's taking a little while, so it must be doing something. So that's the key, guys. Connect it there. Drop it in there and let it do its thing. All right, so after a few minutes, it looks like it went back to default. So the default settings. So I believe it's ready to go. I have to reset the whole thing again. So don't even bother setting all that stuff until you do the firmware update, or else it's gonna, crap on you. And look, it actually turned off. Maybe quite possibly, and look, it's recording. It fixed all the settings? No? I don't know. Hit OK to clear that, and now go back in. So there's only 3 settings. You'll see that it kind of toggles between all these 3 icons over and over again. Look at that. So I guess it kept everything. It just took a while to register. Is it today's date? 8/18. It sure is. And this is to go back. So forget what I said, huh? Proves me wrong. Looks good. I actually like it. It's just, you want, Wi-Fi. You want it to go to the cloud. You want to be able to look at it on your phone while you're laying down and see what's going on inside. But that's not what this is. If you want something like that, you're gonna have to just wait it out. I think this company came out with another version, and if you go to their website, you can pre-order. Let's see here. They have, let me see here, dash cam, the E1, the Element 1, and that one's Wi-Fi, wireless, parking, all that stuff, man. They have an app. Look at that. Look at this guy on this app. Huh? Jealous right now. Jealous. But, pre-order. And I think they'll give you a free micro SD card. But this is only 1 camera. So you might want to check it out. Maybe hold off on buying this. See, there's a deal. $256, or if you buy it after or before May 31st, it's this. So before April 30th, you get this micro SD card and this. I don't know what the heck this is. And whatever this is, Vantrue CPO. I'm sure you aficionados of the recording industry know what the heck that is. I don't care for it. I just need a dash cam because you never know, man. You don't want people pointing their fingers, and then you're gonna say, well, nope, I got you on camera, and then the word of the recording will speak.